Hi, it's David here with Future Trading. We would like to welcome the subscribers. Thank you so much for coming on board. We had 179 in the last video, and that was 3 days ago. So we want to welcome you. So glad that you're here. You're here by fate because we do not buy any views, likes, comments, subscribers, none of the sort. It's deceptive behavior. We want you to actually know whether or not the channel is growing so that way you can assess whether or not your time is even worth putting into viewing the content. All right. So want you to know what's happening here. Don't want to disguise it in any kind of way. And so you're here by faith. And if you don't mind, align yourself to that goal, of course, of caring with, for someone else and share the information. That's the whole purpose of the channel is to absolutely get someone some help. That's the main goal of the channel. Now, there there's some of you that has, of course, been liking the videos and some of you that have commented, and I want to definitely celebrate you. Thank you so much for doing so. Again, me making the videos and you supporting it is one and the same in my eyes. Okay, it's all about equality. We're all professionals if we're showing that level of politeness towards people in our profession. And so to my fellow professional traders that have been supporting the material by liking and commenting, I want you to know that your efforts is just the same as me delivering the content. It's the same. All right. And so I celebrate you for contributing in the way that you do. And it definitely pairs very well because we're starting to get some people that of course, need this information. They're here. So if you don't mind, my subscribers that have come on board here, definitely align yourself to that goal. All right. Now, this is a library. Let me say this is a library. So in January, I will, of course, be refraining from uploading. I don't plan on, of course, maintenance in the channel a great deal. You may hear from me occasionally. All right. I don't want to, of course, impede your process of being able to retain information. I think a constant presence of implementing, this information would only get in the way. The information alone is robust enough. I put it online so you can see it in real time. And most of all the videos here are in real time. So I try to read the chart to you while it's happening. Really important that you understand that. All right. You don't, we're going to talk about that, but you don't want to underestimate what it is that's here. All right. Again, you don't need someone that's constantly telling you the same thing. Your confidence can be impacted by that. All right. So want you to be confident in the material. So, and to further that agenda, I want to make sure that you can see it very clearly. And so I won't be doing as many uploads. Also, I removed my community playlist with the 101, highlight of the videos there because I only put it there because you guys was asking, but I took it down. I took it down. I want you to make sure that you focus in on this free content. Please focus in on free content. Again, I've already ran the company online, took it offline, and again, I just don't want to be in the space. And so, I want you to get that free information understood. Really implement that. All right. Now, as far as the indicator, that the bar coloring indicator, that probably will be done away with as well in May. So in May, I won't be offering the templates and probably won't even offer you guys that red and green bar coloring with the levels, text, volume, text, all that stuff. So if you really want that stuff, again, you have until May. If you just look at your chart and utilize what I'm telling you, you should do fine. All right, and that's just really simple. And so those things will probably no definitely won't be available in May 24th. Won't be available. All right. So just want to say that to you. The goal of the channel is, of course, to get you where you need to go with some simple information. And so, as long as you can count to 10, you can trade. And I'm going to show you that. I'm going to show you that. Now, I put this out on the 13th, and of course they've been going up. But there's another price level right up under us. They may hit. I don't think they'll get here. I hope they won't. But I did put that there, and I just wanted to show you that so you'll be on the lookout. But in this video, I don't know. You guys like that one. I don't see. I really don't see a difference in the content. I'm gonna be honest with you. Everything I'm telling you is like a whole in my mind. Like it works as a whole. I'm just releasing it piece by piece. That's all. But it's a lot that I know. But you guys like that. And in that video, I actually told you that the daily when they were like back here, I said, hey, in order to get the mid of this run above this high, they would have to get straight to that trend distance, if you will. without, two red bars down. And so they ran straight there. So in that video, if you watch that video, which again, there's a lot of you that have watched it, hopefully you were able to hold it or be a part of this move to the upside. Now we're trying to get to, now this is something I put out back in, I think it was June. I think it was June. I said that we should get to like 18.5. So they should wind up like 18.5 somewhere in there. This is the next target level though, right here. That's 17.550. That's the next target level. Hopefully we can get there without pulling back too hard. This is a target level back down here, 16.550. So let's see if they can get that done. Really want to see if they can get that done. Now, this that target level I said they've made on the way up here. Now, as far as that tweet, that's that 528.75. Let's see if they can stay away from that and just go ahead and just, if they lean back, maybe hit that 719 and then just keep right on going. Now let's talk about not looking left. All right, let's talk about this really quickly here. Again, don't want to hold you long. There's no need to look left. There's no need to look left. Absolutely not. There's some time windows that I gave here, and there's actually more ranges. I just don't release them to the public, but there's more time windows that work just like this that can get you, of course, close to what price should do. That's all. And so it's important that you know. I know tomorrow, right around this time, the market can begin to move around a bit, and you just want to get that bias with the center of the range. That's all. Really simple stuff. I'll scroll through it just a bit. That's that alert. That was that part in that alert there. And so I just got a few days in here. You can take a look at these ranges, and these are other targets too. I don't think market will come down that far. At least I don't believe so. So, but the ranges are important. So if you can just know these time windows, that's in front of the market. That's not something that you have to look left. You can know this going into tomorrow. That these time windows are absolutely important. All right, so that's important there. Now, static level, same thing. There they are. Here's some prices for you. Again, the ranges as well as this template is available for you up until May if you want it. But it's all in front of you. So come tomorrow, any other day after that, they're just trying to get to that 55. And there's a logical reason. I'm just not going to go into great detail. But there's a reason why they're right at that 55 or 550, however price the market. But they're there. Okay, they came down, they hit it, they stayed under it pretty much there, and then they came down, hit it. Now they're bouncing back to the upside. So they may go ahead and get this one, and hopefully they'll just keep going up to that the next one after it. But you don't have to always look left. You don't have to always look left. My goal is to make you aware of how to trade that hard right edge and give you some information that highlights just that. All right. So we are creatures of habit. The market was created by the mind of an individual or a collection of minds. And so they have a habitual way of going about making choices as well. There is not an abstract interaction, I can assure you. And so you're interacting with someone's thought whenever you see price move. The market is a decision place. That's all that's happening on every price level. There's a decision that's being made, and there's a process to that. And I'll highlight that moving forward. But there you go. So that's what you have there. Just some information for you to take a look at. Let me get rid of that. All right. So now let's take a look at this chart here. We're going to try to break down some of what I'm talking to you about really quickly here. You can trade one time frame and achieve. Okay, I want you to know this. You can trade one time frame. Mainly because how many thoughts can you have at one time? All right. So it may be contrary to what most people may teach you, but you can go ahead and just trade one time frame. I promise you that. Us. Now this is the function, the thing that I wanted to highlight to you, that the market is no more than a decision place. Thought, action, habit, character, destiny. We always choosing outcome whenever we have a thought because we have the end in mind. We have the end in mind. All right. When you think of something, you automatically know where you would like to be, all right, or would like to have. And so here, just like here, let's take real time for example. If you try to trade down, you'll probably trade at least to the green line, right? And so you see that now if you're trying to go up, you'll want to get above this pivot or maybe even here. So you can see yourself being able to get in the trade and out of the trade at a particular level. The only problem is, now this is your problem, you can't control it. You can't control the outcome once you pull the trigger. But I want to have you know that there's somebody that can. The participants, the market. The market is a collection of minds, a collection of thoughts. All right. Now, these participants, now I don't know who they are, but I just know that this was created by someone or some people. All right. Now, if they're people, they're this. All right. But the thing about it is that it's so sophisticated that they get involved in the outcome, design how it's going to work to ensure that the outcome absolutely come true. So we're going to rid ourselves of the confusion, the frustration, the disappointment, the regret, cumulative resentment, all of these things that can take place emotionally by taking a trade wanting your outcome and not theirs. Because you can't control yours, but they can control theirs. All right. So my goal is to try to make you aware of what their outcome is. What is it that they plan to do? And so now when you look at thought, okay, when you look at thought slash trend, trend slash thought, the distance of how far the market will go will be present with the thought. Okay, it will be present with the thought. So now let's put this to the test. Let's just take a look here. Let's look at the down clearly. One, two, three, four, five, six, and let's say seven. So seven is the thought and the destination all wrapped into one. All right. So now, see, it's present with the thought. And just like it's if you wanted to go up, clearly, you would have went through the high. Now, the person that wanted to go down to the green line, they would have just been wrong because their outcome didn't align to the outcome of the people or the function of the market. It didn't align to it. All right. And so you get it wrong. It's just that simple. Now, I don't want you to be regretful because the mind will blame you. You'll have a thought to do something and then you go to do it and it don't pan out the way you wanted to. The mind would betray you. It'll begin to blame you for making that decision. Interesting enough, the mind is the thing that gave you the whole thought to do it, but then it bails on you. All right. So we want to make sure that we look at the market synonymous with who we are. So we are people that make decisions. The market has a decision or a function, if you will. And we have a function too that we trust in it. The ability to do so is done just slightly different than what most people would want to believe, but it actually works in a way of you having the fluid intelligence, if you will. And I've been trying to talk about that along the way, but it's being able to solve a problem without any prior knowledge. Okay, so all you would have to do, let's utilize this price pattern and think of the word majority. And so we want to stay current with, and these are the rules for it. So what's in green and what's in red is the rules for it. So now let's follow along with price. And so when you see the mid, which is that black horizontal line here, the mid of the current bar moving, if you see that mid get above the bar's high, that's majority. So majority, just the rule of majority, we cover this as well. It controls what the minority is going to do. So if the majority say, hey, we want to go up, we're going up. If the majority say we want to go down, we're going down. And so it's the market is, of course, fluidity. It moves fluidly. All right, it moves fluidly. And so we have to have fluid intelligence to be able to see like this scenario here. The bar turns green, there's a hard stop, no close bar here. And you can know this without any kind of gaps between bars. I know that's popular now. You could already be ahead of that kind of information. You can be ahead of it. You don't need some gap to show up and then all of a sudden you can go in that direction. Again, no bad light on anybody's information. Just want to make you aware of a function that the market is always doing the same thing. It's like us. It thinks just the market has this thought process and how it proceeds. Now, of course, we have open, high, low, close as the reference point. We have that, and that's something that you can definitely utilize. But if you begin to see the market as one and the same of how you function from day to day, you won't look at it as if it's some abstract interaction. Because when you detach yourself from what it is that it's doing, you'll feel threatened by it, and maybe, intimidated by its action, its movement. And I don't want you to feel that way at all. And so what you got to do is no sooner you pull up the chart, you have to look at the chart just as you look at yourself and say, hey, I'm a choice maker. I'm someone that can make a choice. And for the most part, if I ensure that my actions align to what it is that I'm choosing, then I should inevitably end up with what it is that I want. Now that's you looking at how you work. Now look at the market in the same light, but with a level of confidence that hey, the market don't fall short. It don't say, "Hey, I'm gonna go a particular way, and then I can't get there." It actually has the cost of thought, and that'll be located, in the midpoint of the trend. So as it makes its trend, now it can change its mind. It can, but I want you to know for the most part, the market can ensure that it gets where it needs to go. So here we got one, two, three, four, five. No, that's four, five, six, and there's seven. All right, so there's seven here. Usually the center of that seven is the center of the trend or the cost of the thought. And so we do, of course, evaluate and value things based on primary or secondary values. And so here, the value of them moving forward to up here was created from below. And so you want to just again just be aware of when the thoughts show up that they can go the distance of that. Now here's the problem. Here's the problem. I want to tell you what the problem is so you'll know. There's a process: thought, action, habit, character. Now here's your moving average or your trend line. Okay. Most people want these higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, and then they can define it, there's the character, by what it's doing. Then their expectation overshoots destiny and they wonder why they get their stops ran. It's just that simple. You're getting in too late. You have to get in near thought, preferably at action, so you can take action and get out the trade, maybe on habit. And if you're really good at it, character. And if you're the best, get out right at destiny and don't keep expecting anything more. It's just that simple. Now, I want you to do something for me. While being on the channel, I don't know when it is that you've joined or you're joining, you're watching this video and saying, "Hey, I want to be a part of this information." What I want you to do is I want you to stay away from moderators that do a lot of hindsight. I want you to do that. Leave that alone. It's not going to help you. This job is done in absolute real time. Now, I did tell you, I came down here and pointed out a couple things, but I want to let you know you can read this. You can read this, and most of all of my videos, you'll see I do real time. I talk to you about real time. I talked to you about real time. Now, before we got to this chart, I showed you some information, the prices, the time windows, and we're going to talk about this chart scale as well. This green line, this black line, this red line. We're going to talk about this too because it deals with what's in front of the candles. You don't need hindsight. You don't need it. Remember, I told you you need fluid intelligence. You got to be able to have adaptation where you're solving your problem along the way without any prior knowledge. You really don't need it. You want to be with the market when it's happening. Now, you can have this information available to you and factor it in once price get there. If you see it, it kind of lining up, or those price levels or that time window, if you see it all lining up to the real participation, because that's what these bars are. These green, red bars, these are just real participation because there's participants and you want to be on board with the people that can actually get the outcome to show up. And so I'm trying to make you aware when majority of this bar, because it controls the minority, get above this bar's high, or majority of this bar get beneath this bar's low, it can go. So hindsight just won't do it. Matter of fact, again, I tried to tell you about some information that's in front of the candles. You don't need to look backwards. All right. So try to stay away from moderators that's doing that if you can. Here's another thing you may want to consider if you're watching other information on YouTube. They need to give you direction, and it's not based on moving averages, trend lines, breaking of structure. It's not based on any of that. It's really not. It's really not. Again, we can go right here. Let's do this. This is one, two, three, four, five, six, and there's seven. It didn't break the structure here. Okay. It didn't break that yet, but there's your trend. It's telling you that it's going to go higher. It's telling you that, So it's it's one of them things. In order for something to become trending, it needs to have a trend, and an indicator is not gonna, or some break of some prior structure is not telling you whether or not it's trending. It's not telling you that. You can have a break of structure, and it can still turn around and come back and wipe out that trend if the cost of the thought is not, of course, changed. And so if the value is still there that it wants to go back in that opposite direction, guess what, people? It's going to keep going in that opposite direction. So I want you to be careful with that. trying to define trends by other information other than the bars itself. Just be careful with that. I told you you only need to count to 10 in order to do this, and I mean it. And so your 7 bars is important. Then you're going to want to find just one bar and then a half of another. So you want majority. Majority is, more than half the sum of the total. So if that's the total, you had one bar, now more than half of this bar is getting above this bar. Well, we're going to say more than half of this bar is making its way beyond here. And so if more than half the bar is above this bar, well, hopefully we can just keep going with that idea, right? All right, now duration. You're going to want to make sure whoever you're watching online can tell you how far it can go. Remember, I just outlined this to you: thought, action, habit, character, and then destiny. I even tell you that when it gets near here, it can RTM, revert to this means, or reverse. And so when people are looking for reversion trades or reversal trades, you need to take, and that's why I had the failed trend section on the channel. You need to take what professionals use and just turn it upside down. That's all. It's really simple, and I'm trying to give it to you in a way that makes sense. When you have an idea and of course, have satisfied the idea, or you see that the cost of the idea is beyond what it is that you're willing to pay to prevent yourself from regretting what you do. You abandon it. You go the other way. So I want you to kind of keep that in mind. So the entry and the stop placement, the same thing. You want to make sure that any channel you're going to go and take and participate with them, I hope that you understand that they're out here purchasing views and subscribers and likes to deceive you. That's number one. And so you never will really know whether or not it's of any real value. In our comment section, if you notice, there's comments below the video where people are celebrating, the difference that they're experiencing with the information. It's not a lot of emotional talk. I'm still struggling with this. I'm still having a hard time. Da, 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 da. We're trying to get away from that on this channel. So you can come here in that state, but the goal is to get you away from that. We don't want you struggling with trading. We don't want that for you. So it's really simple. Again, if you want to, go and view other moderators, you're more than welcome to do so. I would encourage you not to do it only for this long, if you don't mind. Stay away from that stuff for at least 90 days or less. I guarantee you, if you just listen to the market, it should only take you 90 days or significantly less. It should. Just listen to the market and what it's telling you, and you should absolutely be just fine. Again, you don't have 7 down, so it can still go up. You're still above here, even the more so. So you're now above here, you're bullish. Majority, you're definitely bullish. So it's still up. So I know there's questions about the chart scale. I want to address that. It's all about majority. It's just the same as this information here. The same. It's the absolute same. It's all about majority. So if you're above this center of this scale, now this is all about moving forward. Okay, we can know what the market should do moving forward. Now you say price is up here. Now if it stays up here until, let's say, 12:15, so 12:15 is right here. It can still be bullish and it can go up. It's just that simple. All right. Now, if market come down, there's 12:15 again, about right here. And if the market begins to come under here, it's not as bullish. At that point, the majority may be pushing it back down towards the center of the scale. And so this should tell you moving forward, if you pull your chart just slightly to the left, look forward and say to yourself, look at the clock down at the bottom. That's my job, is to help you with the timing of it all. Okay. It's priceless what I'm trying to deliver to you. It's very priceless. That's why I want you guys to help someone. And this is, again, just simple stuff. Simple stuff. It's not complicated, not a whole lot of dense rhetoric, not a whole lot of terminology. It's terminology won't solve your problem. I have you know that. So you come up with all bunch of fancy terms, a bunch of different time frames, and you're still going to have trouble. It's in front of you. And so when you look forward and you say, hey, by 12:15, let's do this. Let's do this. I'm gonna just put something here. Let's see where we're at. I'm gonna just do this really quickly here, and then I'm gonna let you guys go. Let's go 12 o'clock. So let's just put that there. Now by 12 o'clock, okay, it's 11:43. All right, you can see that right here. 11:43 here, 11:45. If by 12 o'clock we're still operating above this price level, I'm gonna try to hold the video. Let's bring it in a little bit because I don't want to hold the video too long. I don't want to have it locked, so let's unlock that. Let's bring it into about 11:55. So 11:50. No, you know what? Let's do 11:55 because it might get changed by 11:55. So let's see if it can change its direction by 11:55. If not, 11:55, we still above here and can go up some more. All right, and so it's 11:44. Okay, so we got about 10 minutes. I'll hold the video for at least another 10 minutes, and we'll discuss just what it's doing. Now, the mid of this bar here is above this bar high. The bar turns green. It's a hard stop. This bar becomes the no close. All right, and essentially how you would look at it. Now, while it's doing that, we're gonna have a little fun here. Let's go grab us another. Let's go get us another chart. Let's go look at some other stuff while this is happening. Let's go. I wish you guys could yell into the into the video, but it'll be, of course, already buffered and all. But hey, pick this one. So now let's go. Let's go here. Let's go here. Let me just take this out of frame. All right, so crude oil, we're going to do this while that's developing. And again, I want you to keep your mind on that diagram. I'll prove to you that you can become profitable one time frame, not a whole lot of different time frames. And I'm going to go to gold. We're going to do this one first. Let's do this one. Let's just stay in draw mode really quickly here. I'm going to do this. And we're going to just kind of pick apart some of these markets while we're looking at them. I don't know where everything is in this list usually. I just don't feel like loading another template on them. So let's just do this. We're clearly still in a downtrend here. We are. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So roughly about that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's go. Yeah. So roughly that. So roughly that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there's 7. Let's see if they can get there. I'm gonna just leave that there, and we're gonna go to gold. Let's go to gold really quickly here. Gold is up. It's up. So let's measure this and see where else can it go. Let's get the arrow line here. We got 1, 2. I don't like what's back here, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we'll go that. We'll just do it like this. 6, 7. For the most part, I think that's 7 about right there. We'll get the crosshairs and make sure. Just give me 1 second. Again, keep an eye on that chart there. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 5. Let's see, we got 6. Yeah, so that's our 7-1 right here. Okay, so yeah, so it can go the distance of the 7. Now, the interesting thing about this one is that it can go this far, and I'm gonna do it like the other one, but sometimes they'll build the distance off the center of the thought. So let's do that too. Let's go back to crude oil and just take a look at it. And if you can begin to see that the center of the thought is being formed, on you, you can still go for that distance. All right. So let's do this. Let's put this here as well. Let's come back to this one, and then we're going to go to the ES, and we're going to do the same thing. So the center of the thought is roughly here. Cost of the thought right here. Center of the trend. Let's go with now we got to go ES. Let's go ES. Okay, so ES is definitely up. That's way down here, but we'll put it there. That's way down here. That's way down here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So roughly right about here. And it should be at first glance. No sooner you pull up the professionals, again, they have knowledge, and that's all it is. And you can pull up a chart, any chart, don't take a whole bunch of indicators and all that. It's complete unprofessional behavior to go about markets like that. You don't need that. And then there's only 2 types of bars that can help you too. You only got trending and non-trending bars. So if you're trying to trade the trend, look for trend bars. Pair the two. Pair the two. That's commitment to the thought. That's I value my thought. And so if you see non-trending bars, that means there's a bit of deliberation or confusion at play there. Okay. So you want to make sure that it's simple. Let's go YM. Let's go YM. Let's go take a look at that one as well. Let's see what the YM has to offer. Did it load? No. Let's see. See what's going on here. Oh, yeah. Oh, let me click on it. Maybe that's the problem. Okay, so let's look at the YM really quickly here. And so you want to, again, go with, let's put a line on this because I think 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Yeah, so the center of it is here. All right, so that's the center of the trend slash cost of the thought. And so we'll just measure it, and that'll be roughly sevens here. So that's saying that it can get back down here. We'll see. We'll go back and take a look at them. I'm trying to wait until it gets to that 12, the 12, was it 1210 or something to that effect. And so down here, don't like this, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's roughly in there. And as you can see, they based out before they made the trend up. So based out right in there, the center of the thought cost of the center of the trend cost of the thought. And then they of course produce that effect. Let's go back, take a look at our crude oil, see if it is still pushing down. Yeah, it's still pushing down, starting to turn itself. And then we're going to talk about that one. Let's see what gold is doing for us. And it's getting stalled out right there. Let's just go back here and I'm going to just sit this off to the side. And we're going to talk about this chart for just a bit more. All right. So now let's see if we're approaching our time window. Yeah, we're still approaching that time window there. That's 11:55. So 11:55, we're still above the upper part of the scale. Now, can they change their mind? Absolutely, they can change their mind. But the goal is to look for your participation bars, if you can, right in the location that you would like to take the trade. Now, we still got one sitting here. They got past this one, so that's not going to work. So we still got one here. There's the no close bar here. They tagged it, went under, came back up, came back down, then closed beneath it. Well, you still got a couple of just slightly beneath it. So we don't want them really falling beneath up here. We don't, we just don't. So, because if they start falling beneath up here, now you're looking at a majority shift, if you will. So, if majority is above this line, well, the absence of that is below it, and so then you would target back down towards the center of the scale. And it's really simple. You try not to make it no more than what it is. It's just again thought. And someone is controlling what's happening. That's all. Now, whether it's one party or a collection of institutions, it's still we have an objective. We're going to get our orders filled on several levels. We already know what they are. And so either you can attach yourself to that model or you will, of course, be a part of that process. And it's good if you're, attaching yourself to it because you become, a beneficiary of the outcome. That's all. And so now we're going to give it a few more seconds here. I think crude oil is probably about the only one that's going to actually make it. So the goal would be is that you go back and take a look at your charts and see, of course, based on where the markings were at the time. And I'll probably bring it back if I can remember to do so. I'll bring it back sometime next year. Or, of course, if there's a target that can get hit by the end of this month, then I'll come back and make another video. But for the most part, this should do it for you guys until next year. And I definitely want you to take your time with this. Everything that I'm telling you, I want you to slow it down and definitely take your time to learn the material. It's very simple. It's not complicated. I can assure you. Again, I'm not trying to introduce anything to traders that they can't implement straight away. Want to be able to pull up the chart and at first glance have a good idea what should happen. Now, we put this line here with all these little red bars coming in. We put this line here, some time ago, and they're still here. And we said that hey, if they're still above here, they can keep going up. And so the goal is to be able to not have to look left. You don't have to do that. You really don't. Fluid intelligence is another part called crystal intelligence, but look at the fluid intelligence part. It's really simple. It's just while it's happening right now on the edge of choice. Now, price is an estimation, and when we read it, it's an evaluation. But right on the edge of choice, I want you to say to yourself, it's likely that this could keep happening just based on location, just based on where it's at. And so if they can stay in the upper region of your chart, and all you're doing, if you don't know, you're just taking the center of your screen from the top part of the scale to the bottom part of the scale, and you're dividing it in half. And then you take this upper half and then divide that in half, and you're looking for majority. That's all. And so you got to make it very, very simple. Now it's almost it's almost, and they're heading back this way. What do they plan to do? Let's see. Let's see. We know we got the no close level right here. They shot down there. They didn't quite get to it, but they shot down there. Let's see what they want to do. Let's see what they want to do. It's almost. Let's see. Can they get? Okay, now it is absolutely 11:55. Now they're still above this level. Can they turn it around? I don't know. Let's see. Let's see. Can they turn it around and head back up? I know they're here. I know they're here. Now here's our crude oil. I know these probably haven't done as much, but let's just take a peek. Well, they done pulled up there. Let's see if they're maybe coming back to the cost of the thought, the center of that trend. Let's see what the YM is doing. Nah, the YM pretty much just sitting in the same place. I definitely notice ES is doing it. Yeah, still sitting in the same place. You can know that the market is choppy without like 150 bars and sitting there waiting for some top and bottom to form, and now it's choppy. Now I'm waiting for the breakout. That's unprofessional behavior. Novice traders do that foolishness. Professionals know better than that, and I'm trying to make you aware of it. You don't need all a whole bunch of bars, to know that it's chopping. If this bar, okay, if this bar that I'm drawing right now, if the mid of this bar is falling into this bar, you're in chop. I don't care if it's this. It's just chop on the incline, but it's chop. It's just that simple. Real participation don't behave this way. You got to ask yourself, if you're committed to an idea, do you keep thinking about it? No, you're acting on it. Remember? Thought, action. You have to move away from thought. Thought, action, habit, character. You end up where you want to be. This is not you acting on your thought. Very, very regretfully, I would say, you still contemplating whether or not it's even worth it. This is not that. Okay, so you want to find the real participation. Hope this is making sense to some of you. And if it is, then let us know. Let us know. That's what the channel is all about, trying to simplify it for you so you can see yourself, you know, in the market as being one. It's an interdependency that need to happen there. I told you guys on the last I think it was last video, I told you, dependent, independent, and then interdependency. You don't want it to depend on someone keep uploading videos to YouTube. You don't want that. I don't want that for you. Because if you're dependent on me, something happens to me, then what happens to you and your responsibilities? You can't be independent and come into the market, even though we're self-directed. You can't come to the market with an independent mentality that you're going to be different from every other trader and I'm going to do it this way. And no, you don't want to do that. I only want to do it exactly how the market is suggesting it. That's it. You may say, hey, this is different, something I've never heard. Yeah, sure. But I can honestly tell you it's been in front of you the whole time. So it's really not me. It's what I'm just taking notice of, and I'm willing to share it with you. The market's been doing this the whole time. Go back to any chart, any chart. I don't care how old of a chart it is, how many more videos these YouTube personalities want to make for you. It's the same exact process all the time. And it's never going to change. It's the market. So instead of trying to follow, what's popular, just follow the market. Listen to the market. Remember, I told you just do it for 90 days. If you don't mind, it can happen in significantly less. You can become profitable in significantly less if you just listen to the participants that can ensure that the outcomes show up for you. That's all. And so it's really important. So they tried to get up. They tried. Remember, they hit here, and I told you if they still above here at 11:55, they can still go up. Well, they tried, but it just failed. So are they gonna? I told you I ain't really like but is they making the center or the cost of the thought to go down? Possibly lower. But I want you to understand the chart based on just some fundamental things. It's going a particular distance because in order for your thoughts to produce outcome, you have to get it into time because in your mind there's no time. It's not, of course, taking any kind of shape. So you got to take a direction. You have to get it outside your head, and then there's a duration. There's a habit. There's a character. There's some action. There's some things that need to take place in order to get you to the outcome, which is your stop or your target. I can assure you, outcome is going to be attached to every entry you take. I want you to see the chart from a very systematic, simple place. It's not complicated. I want to ensure that you see the market where it makes sense. It absolutely makes sense, and it should begin to make sense to you. They may be running up to the center of the chart. All right. So again, go back, take a look at your charts. Again, this will be my final upload for this year. Hopefully, I really want to go ahead and just enjoy the rest of the year alone. But again, I want you guys to just take a moment, go back and evaluate the information that's provided thus far. See if it's advantageous for you to be a part of this growing community. Again, I'm here. I want to say that I am here to my fellow professionals here. I am here. I'm not out of touch. So even if I'm not constantly uploading, you can always leave a comment. For the most part, you anyone can tell you here. I comment right back. I try to get right back to you for the most part. Now, of course, like I said, I have a lot of obligations, but I try to respond back to you and let you know that I hear you. And I try to make you aware of whatever it is that you're asking. I try to make sure that you know that I'm in tune. I didn't create this channel for you not to be, of course, interacted with, but I just don't want to. I don't want you to. I don't want you to lean on me being here. I want you to lean on the market. Most channels won't tell you that. Don't Most channels won't tell you that. Now, I'll say this: there's 26 letters in the alphabet, and there's roughly about 7,000 words that we speak a day. The market is telling you the same thing. It's open, high, low, and close. It's like the alphabet. It's telling you the same thing. Just it multiplies. And so you could take the letters out of the 7,000 plus words that we're speaking every day, and it's still going to be the alphabet. And so even if you go and reference the high, open, low, and closes, it's still going to tell you the same thing. No matter how many candles it prints, it's telling you the same thing, that it's headed in this direction. It'll stop at a price and it's going to another price. Now, how many times it tells you that with the open, high, lows, and closes? If you want to try to piece that together over and over and over and over again, instead of just getting the true meaning of what's being said, because oftentimes, again, people can say a lot of stuff to you, as I have in the last past, I don't know, I don't even know how long I've been up here, but I can tell you in the now I'll say this. Now I will say this because I've been covering this aspect of looking at the market based on the mind. I've been covering this probably in the last, well, I don't know, 4 videos, and now this will be 5 at least. Well, actually, I started here, so roughly about 6 videos in total. I don't care how many times I tell you this. It's the core of the message is this right here. Don't get in too late because your expectancy may overshoot destiny. You need to be as close as you possibly can to the thought, to the origin of the trend. All right. So I wish you all the best with your trading. Take care.